Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys an update to my Naturia deck profile for March 2017. Been a good little while since I've done an update to this deck, but I always love to give you guys an update every now and then for this deck because it is one of my favorites. I played it for a good while at locals, kind of fallen off the wagon with this deck. So, like I said, I played around with it, made some changes, and I really like, the new approach that I've taken with the deck. So let's go ahead and jump right into the deck profile. Sticking with my Bamboo Shoot play, I still run 2 Naturia Bamboo Shoot. He is one of your main big monsters of the deck. This card's tributed by tributing a Naturia monster. This card, and as long as it remains face up on the field, your opponent can't activate spell or trap cards. So it's basically lockdown for your opponent on their spell and traps. So once it hits the field, no more spell and traps. It includes torrential, bottomless trap holing this card. You have to stop the summon of this card or else you're stuck there. Then you just have to rely on worrying about monster effects for this. So the biggest weakness obviously is the Kaiju deck with this, being able to tribute this card obviously, but stops a lot of spell and traps, including pendulum cards. So that's a really big lockdown for a lot of decks. And I also run 3 Naturia Cliff. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower Naturia monster from your deck and face up attack. That includes Cliff, so you can go Cliff, into Cliff, and then grab 1 more Naturia, so you'll have a lot to stall out on with this card. It's just good because it can also get you what you need for a certain combo coming up. And 2 Naturia Pumpkin. When this card's normal summon, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon 1 Naturia monster from your hand. So you can basically go summon and then get out a tuner or another Pumpkin, have Exceed plays, Synchro plays. It's very easy to make use of this card just because of just the speed that it can get stuff out. And also 2 Naturia Marin. This card is your recycle card. When it's normal summon, you can send 1 Naturia from your deck to the graveyard, and then you can shuffle 2 Naturia monsters in your graveyard back into the deck to draw 1 card. So you can put back Bamboo Shoots, Cherries to reuse, Cliffs, a lot with this card. It's also, like I said, one reason why I run 2, because you can put them back to reuse after they've been destroyed, or if you've set one of them with the effect of Marin, just to put back for the draw power. And 2 Naturia Fruit Fly. Fruit Fly, all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 300 attack and defense for each face-up Naturia monster you control, and then once per turn you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls with 0 defense, take control of it till the end of the turn. So you can hit some really big numbers also when you have 2 Fruit Flies, because both of their effects will stack, lowering down your opponent's monsters even more. Since I said they do stack, and then gaining control of one of their monsters can help with Synchro plays or Exceed plays, depending on what you take. And I'm also trying the variant with the Naturia Mosquito Beans. I've grown to like just the overall potential of the knockout. With Mosquito, your opponent, if you control another Naturia monster, cannot target this card for an attack target, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving Naturia monsters, except with this card. So if you get Mosquito out on the field and another Naturia monster, you basically have lower attack go in, and it can hit them for big damage. And the one card I use with that is Naturia Beans, because once per turn this card cannot be destroyed by battle. And when it's selected for an attack target, you inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. So once per turn they have to basically just ram into it twice with the attack, and they'll take any damage as long as you have Mosquito on the field, and they can't attack Mosquito, they have to hit the Beans. And both Beans and Mosquito are searchable with Naturia Sacred Tree, meaning it's much faster of a pace of a deck to get these 2 cards out for the combo. And then for the tuners, I run 3 Naturia Cherries. This card, when it's destroyed by your opponent's card effect or by battle, you special summon 2 more Cherries, so you'll have Synchro plays to go off of. They're summoned face down, so you have that to go off of there, so you can protect since they won't be in attack mode to attack. And they're also tribute targets also for Bamboo Shoot. So if you open up with the 1 Cherry, and it hits, you'll have the 2 next turn, plus the extra if you want to Synchro Summon with cards instead. And 2 Naturia Butterfly, on level 3 tuner, basically another Sacred Tree target also. You can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard when your opponent declares an attack to negate the attack, and it can be used whenever. So When they get their one attack in, just know when to combo it right with the Butterfly. I've gone back and forth with Butterfly and Dragonfly, but I find that I like Butterfly just a little more. If you want to try the combo with Dragonfly, put it in because the ratio between insects and plants in the deck is perfect, how I think, at the moment with the monster cards. And then 2 Naturia Cosmobeat. The one thing I've noticed with this deck is that a high monster count really helps, just because you have plays to go off of also. So 2 Cosmobeats to wrap up the Naturia lineup in the deck. Once again, when your opponent normal summons or sets a monster, you special summon this, so you can potentially make Bamboo Shoot go off turn 1 by tributing the Cosmobeat you get out with that effect. And last card is just a proxy because I don't know where I put my glow-up bulb. It's in a deck somewhere. I just have to find it. But this is meant to be a glow-up bulb. It's great because it works by sending the top card of your deck. So there are times when I send Naturia Sacred Tree, get the search effect off, and I can normal summon it and synchro into Naturia Beast, and then bring it back with its own effect and make Barkion. And those are my 2 synchro plays there for the Miracle Synchro, which we'll get to in a little bit. And now for spells, I run 1 for 1. This card searches Mosquito, it searches Cherries, whatever I need, Glow Up Bulb for that certain combo play that I want to get off. So it's definitely great to run. And also 2 Miracle Synchro Fusion. This card is for your fusion plays to get off with your synchro monsters. I can go into Naturia Exterio, Gaestelio, whatever the Gaestrio, mispronounced it, whatever one is needed for the search. They're both very powerful fusion monsters, and it's very easy to get the requirements where you need in the graveyard and field to use this card. And then also 2 Mark of the Rose. This card, being able to gain one of my opponent's monsters' control just by tributing one of my monsters, basically. If I remove it from play a plant monster in the graveyard to gain control of it during my turn, then give it back during their turn. Very good, makes me want to get rid of that monster, even if it's like a big monster on the field. I can get some really big kill plays with this card. I just love it in the deck. Very easy to use. Very low spell count, but for traps, I run 3 Naturia Sacred Tree. This card lets me tag in and out between insect and plant-type monsters. By tributing one, I can special summon the other respectable one that's level 4 or lower. And when it's sent to the graveyard, I can add a Naturia monster from my deck to my hand. So helps with search power, and like I said, I can go back and forth, so I can always have what I need for that play at hand. Switching back and forth between the beans and the mosquito to get what I need is also a great play that I love. And also 3 Safe Zone. This card with Bamboo Shoot is basically lockdown because then it can't be destroyed by battle or targeted by your opponent's card effects or destroyed by card effects. So they can't activate spell cards. I get this on the field and it's pretty much locked down. Unless something like Castel or something like that shows up, it's a great way just to lock down and protect my Bamboo Shoot. And then also 1 Solemn Warning and 1 Solemn Strike for the negation traps. 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, just for those extra Exceed plays that I need to, bounce off, so they don't end up destroying my Bamboo Shoot. And same goes for 2 Floodgate Trap Hole, just to set cards and they can't flip them up. Takes care of pesky problems by using that. And 1 Bottomless Trap Hole to end off the main deck. And then we'll move on to the extra. I run 2 Naturia Barkion. Now this is preference, really. If you want to go 2 Naturia Beast and 1 Barkion, that combo could work well. I just find myself going into level 6s a lot more in this deck. By saying that, the 1 Naturia Beast. 1 Goyle Guardian for the level Earth Synchro to go with. Same with Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Tree, and Scrap Dragon. Different levels, meaning it's also easier for me to get off certain Synchro plays. 1 Trishula and 1 Black Rose. I do run plant monsters, so it's great to get off both of her effects when needed. 1 Old Entity Haster to finish up the Synchros. And then for the fusion monsters, I have 2 Naturia Gaestrio so far, or Gaestrio, however you pronounce it, in the deck. You could swap it out for the 1 Exterio. I don't know where my Exterio is, but they're both basically the same. This one just needs 2 Earth Synchro monsters, and it's got a great negation effect, plus also powerful stats as well. making it very difficult to get over. Exterio negates spell and traps, which is why I definitely probably would want to go 1-1. Both of the fusion targets, so very fun to get off with the Miracle Synchro as well. One Slacker Magician. Now back and forth between Formula Synchron in this card, basically because I overlay sometimes with the Glow Bulb, or just go with the Cherry that I have that's extra, because 2 tuners happens a lot with this deck. So, excuse me, with the cough. That's why I kind of prefer Slacker Magician, because Formula doesn't really help because there's not too many speed play synchros with the deck. And then 1 Soul of the Silver Mountain, 1 Malaya of the Trees, and 1 Castel to finish up the Exceed lineup. And Malaya can also be swapped out using the Naturia Sacred Tree combo. So after I get a special off of her, I can swap her out for another card, whether it be an insect or something like that. So it's really cool. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.